Amsterdam dance event, one of the world's biggest conventions in electronic dance music. Book the tickets to go there. It's my very first ADE, so I'm super excited. I've been skimming through everyone's YouTube videos about it. I've never been to the Netherlands, but it's a super promising event, so I just booked the tickets and we're going to Amsterdam tomorrow. I'm going to vlog everything. Let's go. Just woke up. It's Wednesday and literally this evening I am going to be traveling to London Victoria bus station and to Amsterdam. I'm just gonna get a ton of my university work done at uni. Just ask a bunch of questions for the days that I'm missing. And yeah, prep, get ready. Yeah. So after finishing my day at university, I went to London Victoria coach station to catch what's called a Flixbus. Now these are night and day buses that travel all around Europe, and given the fact that I've never heard about them before and never used them, I thought that this was a good idea. So we set off, and after about a 2 hours drive to the coastline, I was heavily disappointed to realize that we were driving into the port of Dover to take the ferry instead of the Eurotunnel. Well, maybe I should have read into the description of the journey a bit more. But honestly, I've never taken the ferry either, so I can't complain. We went through passport control, everything was going fine, and it was already like 10 PM until basically my whole journey is delayed by 4 hours because the ferry in front of us broke down, so I had to stay up until 2 AM doing nothing. And yes, I've spent the first 1 minute of this video ranting on about Flixbuses, but honestly, this video is just here to document the journey and for me to look back on this experience and learn from this mistake. 2 AM here and we finally got into the ferry. Now I had to actually get out of the coach because of some sort of health and safety reasons. No sleep! It's an all-nighter. I look so hopeless. Blah blah blah, time to take a 4-hour drive from France to Amsterdam, get some rest and start ADE day 1. Just got out of the bus and my legs are so sore. I'm currently at Amsterdam Sloterdijk. I'm sorry, what did I just say? Sloterdijk? It's actually
Amsterdam Sloterdijk.
To all my Dutch friends out there, I am sincerely sorry because I'm going to pronounce this wrong throughout this whole video. So I am on the Amsterdam Sloterdijk train station. They have the train tickets and they also have the bus tickets, and the bus tickets, this kind of ticket you can buy for an hour, a day or 2 days, or I think even more, but essentially it just gives you an hour's access to their buses, trams, for like their kind of main government railway company. Well, that was a mouthful, but anyways, it was time to take the train and start the day heading to Amsterdam Central. Roll the music, I guess. And that's Amsterdam Central Station. It's so pretty. I love the architecture. Took the tram and it was time to collect my ADE lab pass. Oh my gosh, that's the cube. I always want to buy an ADE cube for myself, but they're never on sale. Guys, you're missing out on money. So I didn't film any of ADE lab at all. In fact, I just went around, spoken to people, played around with the synths. But then I attended a talk by Recordbox about the latest version of their software, even though I was a Serato user. But midway through the workshop, I realized that there were some workshops by some pretty cool artists straight down the road, so I had to dash. Imagine trying to squeeze out of there. That was so awkward. The first talk I attended was by a London-based artist about music grants, which went something like this.
What happens with that remaining 5,000? Okay, so first bit, the grant.
And then there was the workshop by Laidback Luke himself. If you don't know him, you probably know his music.
You got to show me. Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. I'm like weekend on a Tuesday.
But anyways, that's enough of my poor editing skills. He performed what I think is one of the world's very first DJ sets in Apple Vision Pros, promoting the app. But anyways, I'll shut up now and I'll talk about that later. Let's watch the workshop.
Well, we're not going to be here because I want the 3D decks. And they should be here. And it's funny because I can walk around like this. I have the whole setup. But I don't know if you can see it, but look how shiny the vinyl is. The needle is like...
I put this clip out on my story and funny enough, he actually reposted it. So moment of fame, I guess. Moment of fame. Now the app that Laidback Luke is using to DJ on the Apple Vision Pros is one called DJ by a company called Algorithm. It's available for both the Apple Vision Pros and the Meta Quest. And as you could probably tell, they specialize in spatial DJing. Funny enough, their CEO, Karen Morsey, was just humbly sitting in the audience, corner of the first row. And I'm actually so annoyed I didn't approach him after the workshop, because this is literally my niche. I find these kind of technologies so fun. And when the workshop was over, I went outside, chatted to the people that attended, and yeah, made some new producer friends. But then I stayed back long enough to actually meet Laidback Luke. This man is honestly such a kind soul, because he just stayed behind for a good 30 minutes casually chatting to us on the streets of Amsterdam. But anyways, it was time to grab food and meet a friend of mine called Marcus Wiles. Now we actually met at Brit School back in the day when I was going to do the music production / music tech diploma of theirs before I dropped out to pursue normal A-levels.
Also, I just randomly started engaging in a conversation with some street artists right outside the metro, and I asked them to draw me a picture, and they just drew a picture of the metro, which is so cute. And the guy even signed it below, "Thank you, Better Viljeven." Oh, well, I'm gonna check out his Instagram because we exchanged Instagrams as well. But yeah, damn, it's been such a cool day. It's been such a cool day. So just met Marcus Wiles, and yeah, we just had some Burger King, and he's out here. How long are you for? He's here till Sunday. Lucky guy, but he got a pro pass, and yeah, Mad Money has done extremely well. Also, he said people do the math with money. Anyways, yeah. So I'm out. I'm probably going to do some souvenir shopping right now, because honestly, I don't want to be thinking about all of this tomorrow. And yeah, her camera cut out. But anyways, time to head home and get ready for ADE Day 2. Roll the music. How would it look like if I just stood in the middle of this whole abyss of bicycles? Here's the maze of bicycles again. Look at how many bicycles there are. It's like a swarm. Welcome to Amsterdam. Got my beauty sleep and it was time to start off ADE Day 2. Kicking Day 2 off with a fat breakfast at the Breakfast Club. Got myself these pancakes and the strongest coffee that I could find on the menu. But honestly, who cares? I'm not a travel influencer. Anyways, it was time to head out of Amsterdam Sloterdijk and catch a double-decker train. I've never traveled on one of these before, so I was super excited. Wow, this really is turning into a travel documentary, huh? Found myself a spot on the second floor and check this out. The tables are spacious, disinfected, hopefully, and they don't creak. And there's these sneaky little bins that you would never even guess were there. TFL, take notes. And so I headed back into Amsterdam Central to grab another lab pass and start off the day, because those only last for literally one single day. And they're priced at 100 euros, but honestly, I think that's money well spent. But little did I know that womp womp, the lab passes have actually sold out. So I had to swiftly readjust the agenda of my day to, first of all, just be a tourist in Amsterdam, have a look around. I've never been here before, explore the place. Second of all, to meet the co-owner of a label that I previously worked for. And third thing on the list was to attend a rooftop party by this record label called Empire, and their sub-label was Dirty Bird Records. A producer friend of mine just DM'd me the invite link over Instagram, and so I thought that I would just pop by. But anyways, time to become a tourist. Let's explore Amsterdam. Right there. Then I
I stopped by the famous ADE Cube to film some promo for this run club that I sometimes go to called BTNZ, Better the Next Day. It's founded by a Gymshark athlete called Jake Williamson, and he's trying to make this a big thing. The London runs are in Clapham Common, but doing runs in Birmingham, they're trying to just scale, and yeah, I just support the cause. And now it's time to zoom over to meet Tessa, founder of Mystery Freedom Records. Just had a talk and a few drinks, and it was lovely to meet her in person. And then I went back to tourist mode, and it was time to visit the Anne Frank Museum. There it is, that's literally it, but I couldn't come in because the tickets were just booked out. And I'm talking booked out until like end of November, months in advance. I did not expect the amount of international demand for this museum. And this is the all famous green door. Paid a visit to her statue. It's one thing to study her diary, but it's completely another thing to actually walk around and see everything for yourself. Now it was time to head to the Dirty Bird rooftop party. Back in the center, overlooking this, I don't know what you call this, a body of water. Is everything in Amsterdam even natural? But yeah, it was at this bar called Luminaire. I entered to go to the lift. I was immediately impressed by this table. It was so cool. Zoomed upstairs, gave my name and entered. Bought myself a mojito and just checked the place out. It had an indoor space with a DJ, an outdoor space. A very nice bar. I like it. Great venue choice. This is where the real networking takes place. So the very first thing that I do after I bought my drink is I walk up to this random guy at the bar where you can tell that he likes his fashion. And I just start a conversation out of the blues, and it went along the lines of, hey, I love your glasses. Where did you get them from? Oh, they're Dior. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Yeah, my name's Moody. Wait, what? That's your real name? Wow, that's iconic. So what brought you to this event? Oh, I'm the president of Empire Records. What? Well, that was unexpected. So yeah, I met Moody Jones. We talked about what it would take to scale a record label from small independent 1k followers on Instagram to the level of Empire, or less alone even Dirty Bird. Because for context, they're big labels. Empire is mainly around the rap scene, and they've signed music with Shabuzi, Wizkid, and I think The Alchemist. And I also asked him for some media recommendations. What do you read? What do you watch? What kind of content do you consume? And he gave me a reading list, but he also recommended me a podcast called Make Art Not Content by Father Bronx. And this one's about music, artistry, and mindset. And though all of that sounds very fluffy, trust me, this is absolute gold. I've been listening to it all year.
I am currently at the Empire/Dirty Bird record label event, and man, I've met so many cool people there.
Okay, we get it. Finished some charitable modeling for their energy drink. Just kidding. And it was time to head off to continue exploring Amsterdam during the evening. So, it's like nearly 8 p.m. in Amsterdam, and it seems like we have a full moon. So, if anything happens to me tonight, blame it on the full moon, because I am going to be out at like a good... I'm pulling an all-nighter. I'm gonna be up and alive up until like 4 a.m. So our all-nighter starts off with going to... Never mind. I'll just see someone filming a TV program. Maybe that's like a famous grandma. I don't know. Anyways. Still a lot of time left. I'm not leaving Amsterdam without doing the thing that I wanted to do the most, which is to hire a bike. So let's do that, and let's see where that takes us. I think it's a bit risky to hire a bike literally when it's like dark outside, but the street lights are so cute. I'm sure I'll navigate. Amsterdam is hectic. I've nearly got run over once today. But yeah. So I found the Donkey Republic bike. Now these exist in Brighton as well. I saw them in Brighton, so everything should be straightforward, and yeah, let's do this. That bike didn't work, so I just got another one from a different location, and I'm just going to cycle into the abyss of Amsterdam, get lost, and find my way back with Google Maps. I think that's the way to go. I'm not going to overthink things and plan routes, because that's just gonna not make me enjoy the moment. So yeah, let's dive in. just locked the bike. That was a 1 hour 45-minute journey and it just flew by like crazy. Honestly, yes, I'm just gonna go and grab some food, snacks, drinks for the journey home, and yeah, I guess see you in London. No, I'll document that as well. It's 2 a.m. and I just walked out of a random bar that I walked into, which hosted an event by a random label that I don't know. And I ended up talking to and exchanging Instagrams with a guy who is an events manager, organizer, who has organized events for Miss Monique. And he basically does event organizing in Ukraine, and he worked for Microsoft before as a head of the European strand, which is just, it's crazy the type of people that you meet here. And that was just the result of me just walking into a random bar. Going back to the station and saying my final goodbyes to Amsterdam, but man, the people here are so laid back because I've just found myself playing like a mini football match with like 6 random teenage guys on the street. Really not looking forward to this Flixbus journey back home. Why did I order this bus? I don't know why. Oh my gosh. It's such a big mistake. But hey, it's my first time in Amsterdam. It's my first ADE. And we learn from our mistakes. So next time, I need to have a bit more self-respect for myself. The story of how I came back home deserves a video of its own. But I spent the whole day traveling on the bus, on the ferry, and continuing to travel on the bus. The post-trip depression was kind of already kicking in, but really I was just planning the week ahead, reading all the notes I took, watching bits of content people recommended, following up with the people that I talked to. ADE was a big eye-opener for me because it made me realize that the people at the top are literally just people, even though that's probably very obvious. But when you see the people that you look up to in real life, everything just becomes even more real. I think social media over-glorifies things a bit too much. I'm super grateful for the connections that I've made at ADE, and I can't wait to see what kind of projects will form out of collaborating with them. But note for next year, do your research and come well prepared. Come with a lot of demos. There were instances where I was sitting on the same table as some A&Rs from some very big labels, but I didn't have a big enough catalogue of music nor content to pitch myself. There's so many opportunities circulating everywhere, so you have to come prepared. But anyways, I'm back. I'm back. And that's my first ADE in a nutshell. I hope this video encourages you to also attend next year. It's so much fun. You're gonna make a ton of new international friends, and you never know who you're gonna meet or what kind of opportunities you're gonna create for yourself, even if it's just for 2 days. I loved it and I'm super excited for next year. Bisous. Bye.